6:27. You know, being outside in the cold and extremely low temperatures can be very dangerous.
Yeah, it doesn't take long for frostbite or even hypothermia to set in. Audrey joins us now with really some things that you need to know so it doesn't happen.
Absolutely. Texans are much more versed in the warning signs of heat stroke or heat exhaustion, but in these extreme cold days, there is an increased risk for frostbite. Now, it's caused when the body's natural warming system fails. In adults, signs of hypothermia include shivering, fumbling hands, slurred speech, memory loss, and confusion. In infants, symptoms also include bright red skin that is very cold and very low energy. And if someone shows these signs of hypothermia and has temperatures below 95 degrees, you're asked to seek medical attention immediately. And according to the American Red Cross, when trying to warm someone who is experiencing hypothermia, start with their abdomen and chest and core, because starting at their hands and feet can send them into shock.